This weekend marks 1 year since the deadly white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Officials have been preparing for the worst and increasing security. And a scary event in the skies yesterday evening. A ground service agent stole an airplane from Seattle's airport and crashed it on an island. The conversation he had with a control tower coming up. Meanwhile, the TSA rolling out upgrades to scanners across the country, how these changes could impact travelers. And Paul Manafort was in court for his second week. And on Friday, the trial was delayed several hours. What prosecutors expect to accomplish next week, just ahead. Thanks so much for joining us here on Spectrum News this afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Chanel. We'll get to all those top stories in just a bit. First, though, it's time for a check of your weekend forecast.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Much of the state pretty cloudy, and we're getting some rain out there as well. So we'll see some scattered to occasional showers and storms ramping up throughout the afternoon into the evening. Locally heavy downpours. Now, not everybody will see them. It's just kind of dependent on where these storms decide to settle up. Temperatures down because of that. And don't forget, we have the Perseid meteor shower as well tonight. All right, looking at upper 80s and low 90s this afternoon. Temperatures held down due to the cloud cover and periods of rain out there, and overnight lows tonight generally in the low 70s.
It's Austin's Pride Weekend with the festival happening today and the parade tonight. Last year, over 400,000 people attended the parade. Our Chelsea Trahan is at the festival now. That's in East Austin. She's checking out all the festivities. Chelsea, how's it going out there? Is it busy?
Well, it's not busy yet. It just kicked off here at Festival Gardens, but you were right. This is the second largest Pride event in Texas. And I'm joined by Alejandro, who helped organize the event. Talk about what goes into planning such a huge event like this.
Yes, so this is, it starts the entire year. So this is the entire year of a board full of volunteers. So no one who plans Austin Pride is a paid staff member or gets paid. They are all volunteers in this.
Okay, and talk about what some people can expect if they're coming here to the festival today. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. There's amazing entertainment lined up all day today. We also have a lot of vendors from businesses to organizations, nonprofits. So if you want to know what is LGBT friendly here in Austin, definitely come out to the festival today.
And the parade is tonight. That's where all the main people are going to be. Talk about how huge that event is and what they can expect if they go out there.
Yeah, it's such a large event, the parade. Last year we drew in over 400,000 people. And so that takes place right down Congress Avenue from 11th to Congress and takes us right on 4th. And so it's a rain or shine event tonight. And so, yeah, we hope to see everyone at the parade tonight.
All right, and there's music, live music here today at the festival.
Yes, there's live music, there's drag queens, there are performers. It's such an eclectic mix of entertainment for sure.
Okay, we'll have more information on these events on our website. You can find those there. But for now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Chelsea, thanks so much. And just one more question. I know he said there that this is a rain or shine event. I know last year they had some major issues with that Hurricane Harvey rainfall. So this year, are they just keeping their eyes glued to the radar and they're just going to wing it?
That's exactly right. If it rains, they'll still be out here, but if they see lightning, they will have to shut down. But they're going to be in contact with the city to make sure that everyone is safe out here.
All right, thanks so much, Chelsea. And we'll have more from the Pride Festival and parade throughout the day here on Spectrum News. So make sure to stay tuned. And of course, everyone here at Spectrum News wants to wish all of those celebrating Pride a happy Pride weekend. Tomorrow will mark the 1-year anniversary of the Unite the Right rally in Virginia that left one person dead. Multiple events are planned in Charlottesville this weekend to remember what happened. Kaylee Hartung takes us back to that last year.
Last summer, Charlottesville became a battleground.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Clashes have erupted between white supremacists and protesters.
Terror in Virginia. One person is dead.
1 year later, a new team of officials are vowing not to let history repeat itself.
We have to start owning that we did not live up to our training. We didn't live up to our oath, but we have the opportunity to recover and get it right.
After a sharply critical report placed blame on the Charlottesville Police Department for its failure to contain the violence and protect the public.
This is not a law enforcement event. This is a public safety endeavor.
Chief Al Thomas retired. Rochelle Brackney took over 2 months ago.
When I walked into this position, I did walk in some ways with my eyes wide open, but I didn't realize probably the extent and the breadth and the width of what that responsibilities would be, because I had not really had the opportunity to hear how hurt this community was and still hadn't healed.
The first images of hate America saw in Charlottesville came from here.
The night before the planned and permitted alt-right rally, white nationalists marched onto the University of Virginia campus wielding tiki torches. The visual was startling, but that wasn't the worst we would see.
The next morning, violence in this intersection as police looked on just outside the park where General Robert E. Lee statue stands.
So-called alt-right activists, chanting racist slogans and carrying guns and Confederate flags, clashed with anti-racist and anti-fascist counter-protesters. Then the day turned deadly.
This street where James Alex Fields Jr. allegedly barreled his car into a group of counter-protesters, it remains a memorial to Heather Heyer.
Heyer was killed in the attack, 35 others injured. The driver, a Nazi sympathizer, will be tried for murder and federal hate crimes. There was anger and outrage in reaction to not only the violence, but the hateful rhetoric that was openly on display here.
I have a message to all the white supremacists and the Nazis who came into Charlottesville today. Our message is plain and simple. Go home. You are not wanted in this great Commonwealth. Shame on you.
Then,
very fine people on both sides.
President Trump's refusal to condemn the racist attack and its immediate aftermath further inflamed the national conversation.
When you think about the flashpoint that Charlottesville was in this country for the dialogue around race relations, where do you think we are 1 year later?
So I don't know if we as a city or even as a nation has had that real honest dialogue about equities. In terms of really moving the needle forward, I'm not sure that we've actually instituted policies, procedures, or even support that could help move the conversation beyond a conversation.
And so the conversation continues this weekend as the second Unite the Right rally organizes in the nation's capital. Here in Charlottesville, the focus will be on continued healing. And Chief Brackney says the city has an all-encompassing plan for whatever or whoever the weekend may bring.
And today, the University of Virginia has events scheduled as part of a day of reflection and renewal. Also in the evening, students plan on holding a rally on the university's campus. Some terrifying moments yesterday evening after an airline ground service agent stole a passenger plane from Seattle's airport and later crashed it, causing confusion and panic with fighter jets scrambling to follow the plane. Here's a look at the crash site now. There were no passengers on the plane at the time of the crash, but the Pierce County Sheriff said they did find one body at the crash site believed to be that of the ground service agent. Now, before the man crashed the Horizon Air Q400 aircraft on a small island, Air Traffic Control was trying to coax him into bringing the plane down safely, but he said he wanted to perform more stunts. Take a listen to some of that conversation.
Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip, you think? I'm going to land it, like in a safe kind of manner. I think I'm going to try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'll just go nose down and call it a night.
While people were shocked by the incident, they said they were relieved that fighter jets sprung into action.
To know that, our military is that ready is definitely reassuring, but on the other side, that's not reassuring is how the hell did somebody get inside a plane at SeaTac Airport? That's not okay.
And many others now asking that same question. The ground service agent's lack of flying skills is said to be behind the crash. Normal operations have since resumed at the SeaTac Airport. We'll make sure to keep you updated on this story here on Spectrum News as we learn more. The TSA planning on upgrading the scanners they use at airports to screen baggage. Mike Carter-Conine has more on how this might help improve security and traffic jams at checkpoints.
This new state-of-the-art scanner at Dulles International Airport allows TSA officers to capture and rotate 3D images of carry-on bags using CT technology, computed tomography, like an MRI in a hospital.
You're actually taking about 1,100 images of a bag. So it's rotating, it's taking slices. So it's much more than the static X-ray that's used today, which is about 4 images.
TSA says the new scanner is better at explosives detection and can even analyze the chemical makeup of liquids inside a bag. Since 2002, the same technology has been used to scan all checked luggage, mandated after 9/11.
The disadvantage of the machines down in the bag rooms are they're very large. Industry has been able to reduce the size of those machines.
The TSA believes this technology will result in faster screening at airports. The machines take much larger, more advanced images, so the bins are much larger than the current size, meaning you can keep all your belongings together.
Of looking at one image instead of multiple images on a passenger.
I remember when my daughter was a baby and having to balance her and then all the bins, and it was a lot, so I think this will be easier.
Another benefit, passengers don't need to remove their laptops or liquids.
And the reason why is because we can get a clearer image.
Washington Dulles is one of the first among 15 airports across the country testing the technology, including BWI in Baltimore. By the end of next year, TSA plans to have 145 CT scanners at airports nationwide.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The rain chances continue to ramp up throughout the afternoon. A little bit more numerous activity and maybe some locally heavy downpours. Now, not everybody will see that, but if you do get under one of these heavier showers, could be talking about some pretty good totals. And we'll see that diminish a little bit through the morning hours and pick up again tomorrow. So we've got kind of a wet weekend, not the entire weekend, but just count on some rain at some point. Temperatures may be down because of some of that rain-cooled air out there. We'll take that for this time of August, typically some of the hottest time of the year this next week or two. So we've got a front stalled up to the north, but also a broad area of low pressure off to the west, and these disturbances riding out. We already had heavy rain in the hill country, basically from Blanco up through Burnett County, western Williamson County, up through Temple and Killeen as well. That was overnight. That diminishes and move toward us. Now, it just depends on where these bands are going to set up. Some folks may be talking about 1, 2, 3 inches of rain. Other folks may be picking up lighter amounts than that. But at least we've got opportunities, not just today, tonight, but also into tomorrow, even tomorrow night. Don't focus too much on the totals exactly in Austin. There will be some areas that pick up 1 inch, 2, 3 inches of rain. Afternoon highs will be down because of the cloud cover and periods of rain out there today in the low 90s. So we've got the chance of rain continuing up to tomorrow, 50% chance, and then it diminishes Sunday night going into Monday. We return to some sunshine. Now look at radar.